Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for you guys, it actually hasn't been that long because I know that one of my videos just came out last week. However, for me it's actually been quite a while because, as you probably won't know, or maybe you will if you heard me mention it in a video, I actually spent the last 3 months living in England and studying at the University of Birmingham, and all of the videos you saw in the last 3 months have been pre-filmed, which is why, you know, it looked like I was at home the whole time. However, I was actually in England. Please let me know down in the comments below if you would actually like me to talk about that semester abroad experience, and also I would like talk about the reasons why I decided not to film in England at all. I had my camera with me, but I never actually ended up taking it out, so all of these reasons would be put into that video as well, so just let me know if you're interested in hearing about that. But since I haven't been able to react live in a video, there have been so many questions posed to me over the past 3 months, so I thought I would just come back with a Q&A to finally answer all of the questions that you guys had over this period. As always, there are way too many questions for me to be able to answer in one video, so I think I'll make 2 or maybe even 3 parts of this new exchange student Q&A, so stay tuned. If your question wasn't in this one, you know, it's gonna be in the next one or the one after that. Also, I'll put a disclaimer right now: if you have any other questions, feel free to put them down in the comments below. They will definitely be talked about in a future Q&A video, and I might give you like a quick answer, you know, much sooner when you pose the question actually. But without further ado, let's get right on into this video. So today we're starting off with a really basic question, and that is, how long was your exchange year? So they call it an exchange year most of the time, even if you're just going for 5 or 6 months or 10 months. Mine was pretty close to a year. I stayed for about 10 months, which is not a full year, but it is rather a school year. So what a lot of exchange student organizations do is they send the exchange student to their target country about a week or 2 before school will start, and then you have some time to get used to, you know, your new surroundings, and then you start school, and they usually let you stay until maybe a week or 2 after school has ended and the summer break has started, just for you to, you know, be able to maybe travel a little bit or just hang out with some friends, and then you go home. So it's basically more or less school year that you're staying usually, but there are also 5 or 6 months programs that are also called exchange year. So I know it also depends on the country. The US usually do 10 months. I know Australia, I think, does 12 months usually, so it depends where you're going, but you will definitely see, you know, the duration of your program when you look at the exchange organization's kind of profile or catalog. The next question is kind of related to that, and it is, which company did you choose to do your exchange with? So I had a scholarship program, so I didn't actually really choose an organization, but I went with Experiment on the German side and CIEE on the American side. I was pretty happy with them. Maybe if you guys are interested in it, I could do like an actual review video and talk just about general organizations that I kind of consider choosing and just my experience with my organizations. But yeah, I chose those 2, and overall I was pretty happy with it. The next question, I've already teased a bit in my last answer, and it is, did you pay for your exchange year or was it for free? So the quick answer is no exchange year is ever for free. I know that a lot of schools do exchange programs for about 4 weeks or a few months. Those can be free or kind of connected to really low charges because it is organized by your school. If you are doing an exchange year, it's usually quite expensive. My program would have been around 9,000 to 10,000 euros, which is, you know, around $10,000. So they are really expensive, and I think the 5 to 6 months programs are a bit less than that. However, as I mentioned, I got a full ride scholarship, so I actually didn't have to pay any of the $10,000. It is a scholarship that is especially interesting for Germans and Americans because it is sponsored between the German and the American government. Relatively easy to get in comparison to other scholarships because they give out 1 scholarship per voting district instead of just 1 or 2 scholarships per country. So, you know, if there are any Germans and you would like to hear me talk about this scholarship program, I might make a video. I might even make it in German, depends on what you guys want. But yeah, definitely worth looking into it. I mean, it's so expensive. $10,000 is so much money, so definitely look into your scholarship options and maybe, you know, you'll get a lot of the price off, maybe $1,000 or $2,000, or maybe you get a full ride scholarship. It's definitely worth a try. The next question is, were you able to choose your school? This is a question I would like to elaborate on a little bit. So my quick answer is no, I was not able to choose my school. I wasn't able to choose the state either. The only thing I chose was the country. Obviously, you know, I think every single exchange program will let you choose the country. So I chose the United States of America, and then it's kind of a different process. Usually, you know, your organization will put your profile, like your picture and your information in the catalog, and potential host families get to actually just look through the catalog and kind of choose their exchange student or choose their child essentially for the next year. And that's how it usually works. So you won't actually get to specify anything. You don't get to choose the state, the school, the city, nothing. There are programs which will allow you to choose a state. I know EF, for example, does a lot of that, where you actually get to pick a state. However, my program, especially since it was a scholarship, did not let me choose any of that. There are a few things I would like to say about this though. I did my exchange year in Texas, and I never would have chosen Texas for reasons I don't even remember now, but it was just not one of the states that were kind of on top of my list. I think most people just, you know, choose California. Like, the weather's nice, you know it from movies and stuff, so I feel like most people would choose California as like their state to go to, or maybe something on the East Coast like New York State or something like that. I do not recommend choosing your state or even going deeper into it and actually choosing your school unless there are really specific reasons of maybe having family in town. Even then, I think an exchange year is a time where you are gonna learn so much from just being thrown into situations that you did not anticipate at all. A time where you're gonna learn most from just being completely on your own and having to kind of navigate through life on your own for the first time. And I think if you do choose a state, or even if you do choose a school, you're kind of robbing yourself of so many opportunities to get to know places and people that you otherwise never would have known. Because California is a state, you know, I might as well just go there on holiday. I would have never thought about going to Texas on holiday. And when I kind of think back and kind of think about all the people I met in Texas that I never would have met if I had chosen California as like my dream state, then that makes me really sad, because there's no way that I would have ever gotten to know this teeny tiny town in Texas if I had not by chance landed there on my exchange. I know that, you know, doing your exchange here in California sounds amazing, and I think it is if you do end up going there, but I think there is something to be said for just letting, you know, fate or whatever take over and just being put into a certain place that, you know, you would have never experienced otherwise. And I think you can have a really unique experience anywhere, and you can meet really lovely people anywhere and make a home anywhere. So I would recommend you do not choose a school or do not choose a state, and just see where, you know, life takes you. The next question is actually kind of a deep one, and it is, was it easy being an exchange student? No is the short answer. It's definitely not easy. There are extremely hard moments. In fact, I think as an exchange student you are going to have some of the hardest moments of your life, especially because you are that young, and chances are you didn't have, you know, such hard moments yet in your life because you are just maybe 15, 16, 17. It is definitely not easy. First of all, because you are going to be extremely lonely. I mean, you go to a place where you don't know anybody. Like, you don't have family with you, no friends, you don't really know the language perfectly, you don't really know the culture, so it is definitely going to be very lonely at times. You are going to have to adapt, and adapting to a whole new surrounding is always hard. You are going to be disappointed a lot. You are going to have to make a lot of decisions by yourself. It is just going to be really hard. I think it needs to be hard for you to be able to grow. I think that's one of the main reasons why people should do exchanges, to just grow as a person. And if it was smooth sailing and super easy the whole time, I don't think you would grow very much, and I don't think you would learn very much. So it's actually extremely important that it is hard, and it's also worth it. Like, I had some really tough times during my exchange that I might speak on at some point, but I had weeks where I cried every single night for certain reasons, and I still made it through, and I would do it all over again, because every single time you're in so much pain, it's just so worth it in the end, with all of the people people you meet, all of the friendships you form, and all of the things you learn. So no, it's not easy, but it is worth it, and I would do it all over again. So definitely do it. If you want to know a bit more about the hardships, there are a lot of videos on my channel of things I would do differently or mistakes I made, so definitely go watch this. You'll get a bit more of an idea of what might be the hardships that you're going to encounter, and also I might talk about this in a video as well. Let me know down in the comments below if you kind of want to learn more about like my personal situation. Not easy, but worth it. The next question is connected to that, and it is, how would you rate your exchange on a scale of 1 to 10? It's hard to put a number on it, but I would probably say a 7 or an 8, maybe a 7.5. Thinking back on it now, it was pretty awesome. Like I'm really happy with it. There were definitely moments where I was extremely sad and had an extremely tough time. There are definitely reasons why it could have been much better. If one aspect had been different, I think it would be a solid 10 out of 10 or maybe a 9.5. That one aspect was kind of a downer, but overall really happy with how it went, the experiences and the friendships I've made. So pretty solid, pretty good. The last two questions are, have you remained in touch with anyone, and have you been back since? So yes, I have remained in touch with a couple of people. Obviously there are a lot of people, you know, that I'm still technically friends with, but we don't talk a lot. We might talk like a couple of times a year, which is totally fine. You know, whenever it's someone's birthday or you see them post something interesting, you start a conversation, and I know that if we met up again, we would totally, you know, fall back into the friendship and just have a lot of fun together and have so much to talk about. But you have to remember that that is a whole life I led. Now I have a whole life here that I led. I also have, you know, a lot of friends from like England that I just went to, so you cannot possibly lead all of the lives 100% at the same time. So of course, you know, there are going to be a lot of times where you don't speak to those people a lot, but it doesn't change the fact that you have all of those memories holding you together, that there's so much love still. And there are definitely a handful of people that I'm still extremely close with, and that I will probably always be close with, and especially my friend Hannah. Like, I mean, COVID has made it extremely hard, but before then we used to travel together all the time, and I'm sure once COVID is over we'll do that again. So you learn how to be okay with the fact that you only see each other maybe once a year, but you fall right back into the friendship. I've definitely remained in touch with a lot of people, and I still like follow everybody on Instagram and Facebook, and I see like who's getting engaged, who's having babies, and you know, just what's happening in their lives. And yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And also, have I been back since? Yes, I actually went back right before COVID hit in March of 2020. I actually went back. I went to New York with my friend Hannah, and then I went back to Texas and saw everything again. It was such a surreal experience to be back after, I think, 6 years it was at that point. So just having grown up so much, and so much of my life had changed at that point, and then walking the same, you know, streets again. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go into the high school, but when I go back, I definitely want to, you know, see a basketball game or a football game or something, and actually go back into the high school. It was really nice seeing all these people again, seeing my host family again, seeing friends again, and just being back. It felt weird, but also really nice, and I definitely want to go back in a few years and just, you know, keep coming back throughout my life, maybe bring my kids there one day. Yeah, it's just really nice. So since I answered all of these questions, I now only have one question for you to answer down in the comments below, and it is, why do you follow this channel? I kind of want to see where I want to take this channel in the future. I love making all of this exchange student content, and I definitely will keep making this content, and I also kind of dabbled into the fashion content. So let me know down in the comments below whether the exchange student content and the fashion content is something you would like to see, and also maybe suggestions of other things you would want to see me do, or things you could see me do. Yeah, that would just be really interesting, because obviously I created this channel for you guys and for the community, and I would like to create content that is just in you guys' taste and that you would like to see me do. Yeah, I think that could be really interesting if I kind of take on your suggestions and we can, you know, see where this channel goes from here together. Also, as always, if you have any exchange student videos or questions, that you would want me to discuss, leave them down in the comments below. This is so helpful for me to know what you guys want to see, and also I want to be as helpful as I can be. So if we kind of cooperate on this channel and you tell me what you need to know or things you would like to see me talk about, then definitely let me know and we can work on this together. The only thing I have left to say is thank you guys so much for your continued support. This is so amazing. When I started back up in April, I never thought that, you know, we would grow this fast, and it's so lovely, and all the interaction in the comments is just so amazing and it's so rewarding. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye!